Hello everyone. So this video to show you how we can assign multiple person to one task. As you know, it is an option that doesn't exist in Odoo by default. If we go on a project and then we go on a task, for example, this one, just by default, I took that one. You see this is minute one, and then we cannot select different person. We can only select one. So this can be annoying as depending on what is your job. Sometimes many different people can work on it. We could play and add some followers maybe to check those information, but then it can be a bit annoying because then in the planning it's not always easy to be able to check, okay, what are my tasks actually, and then we need to play around with the filters. But this can be a solution. But also then it means it's a bit tricky because if you want to check a planning, for example, if I want to check here, where is it? Not for project, but if we check for field service, for example, where is the application there? You have there the planning by user, and then there we cannot group by what is in the follower because the follower is a one-to-many or many-to-many. Then so it means that it is a group of information, and we cannot group by a group of information. So then it means that we are stuck in here. To do so, we are going to use the application planning with some workaround. So basically, I'm going to here take the use case for field service because it's the most current one where we need to assign different person. And it's also the one where we have the most information, and so that's also the one that can be the most tricky to play around with. So basically, what is very important is to be able to assign someone, to plan the date, and then also to be able to define who are the other person. Basically, what we are going to do first is just simply to add here a new tab that I'm going to call planning. From there, I'm going to select a one-to-many to planning dot slot. So it's planning shift. From there, it's going to allow me to create planning slot uh, from this application. Planning up, and I could call it whatever, assigned person or extra assigned or whatever. So there, from there, now we can select and create plannings. So there, so far, I can just come here and define up employee up. I can select the employee I want. So for example, Abigail. And so for example, here, Anita, save. And so from there, I can see now that if I go in planning up, I could see for Abigail that I have a task and for Anita that I have a task. And we need to do other stuff in order to be sure that everything works and that the planning is making sense for the full situation. So if I know not project, but I could, but I'm going to continue from the field service. So for example, if I go in that one, I think it was that one. Yeah, okay. So now if I go in that one, what I also want is I don't want to go there to assign someone and then come here to just add the others. So what I'm going to do is create an automated action and add a rated field. So I need to add a rated field, but with Odoo Studio, this rated field kind of rated field does not work, so I need to create it manually. So I'm going to go there, click on more, click on create, and there, for example, dead. And then this is a field that actually is going to be hidden in the view because it's not really necessary. It's just to be used for some automated action. Up. And why do we need to do that? Just simply because here it's a many to one and there it's a one to many. So we cannot fill in the value that is there directly in that field. So we need to create a related field so that we get a many to one to a many to one. And so that then later on we can, with an automated action, automatically fill that many to one with a new one. It's going to be clearer with the example. So what I need to do is go here in my view planning, Studio underscore planning. So related field x underscore studio underscore planning dot x underscore employee underscore id. Up. Okay, there is a small mistake. Up. I did not put the model. So it's on task. Okay, so now that should be fine. Okay, I'm going to remove it and type it again. I do not specify myself the file type because it's like a good way to check if I did something wrong. Because normally, if there I create the correct link, automatically he recognizes the file type. And so if I don't write it, it's just because it allows me to be sure that I didn't do any mistake. Planning dot employee ID. Okay, I can see it's correct. Up. So now I've created my related field that it's called dead. Up. So now I can go back in my view. Up. And I'm going to specify it just there so that we see what is happening, but actually it's going to be removed or hidden depending after. And so there we can see it took Anita Oliver because she's there. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to create an automated action saying that on creation and or update if the field dead that I just created is changed. So basically, if at any point the value that is specified here, the first one that is also in my field dead is changed, then it's going to also adapt the assigned person, which means that if I remove the person from the list there, and that person is the one assigned, then it's going to be somebody else. So what I'm going to do is the field assigned to Python expression, and then I'm going to record dot, and I'm going to obviously go for my x underscore dead. But there is something important to know. I'm going to refresh here. That planning is using the field employee in order to register the person that is working on the slot. While here on the task, it's assigned to it's a user. So basically, if we check there, that we can see it's a relation hr.employee. While they're assigned to, it's res.user. They need to be the same model if we want to be able to fill them in directly. Something that is good is that on the employee form, maybe not for Abigail, but normally here we have a related user. And so we can check the field here, user underscore ID. And so from there, I'm going to say dot user underscore ID, which means that every time there is someone that is added in the one-to-many planning list I created, it's going to check and to register the information in the field dead, which is a related field from that one-to-many. And then if there is somebody, it's going to take the information from the field dead, see what is the name of the user, and then specify it in the assigned to field that is standard. So now I can save. So now there I close. So let's imagine I create a new one, dead, app customer, deco addict. This does not matter that much. And then planning, up, and now I select mark demo, for example. You see automatically he recognizes mark demo. By default, Odoo specifying that I'm supposed to be the assigned person, but which I don't want. But I don't want to have to change it manually. And then I save. Yeah, I forgot to write the title, I guess. Up. And then you see automatically mark demo is specified. There at the moment, if I go in all task to schedule, obviously this one is still to be planned. So what we want to do is we want to be able to plan. And for example, let's imagine there I add admin up. What I want to do is to be able to define the plan date there for everybody at the same time also. What I'm going to do is there just select, for example, 19 to 21, up, apply, so that option. And then you see there, it's not the correct one. You see the hours are not the same and the end date is not the same. So what we want to do is to have those being the same. So we need to again do some customization. So I'm going to go on my planning. And then on my planning, I will open Studio again, check for the views, go on the form view, take again related fields. I want to go on the task, and on the task I want to get my start date because that's the one that really matters for me actually. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the end date. So I'm just going to change that start date task. Okay. Now I can add another related field. Task. End date, it's that one. With the small d. Up. End date task. That the name is clean in here. Okay. So now I have those two dates, but still you can see there is some dates. So we are going to double check also how it is on the use case we just created. So if I go on schedule by employee, my planning, I think I can check this one. Where is it? No, my planning. Up. Okay, no, it's not that one. Okay, and what I'm going to do is go back directly from my field service so that I can find it back. No, it was not that one, it was dead. Up. Okay, there we go. Planning. Up. And so we can see there, you see the hours are still not the same at the moment. So we need to do customization again. So if I go into, again, my planning application, again, I open my view and I get my view form. From there, I can add an automated action where I say that on creation and update for the field start date task and end date task, if one of those are changing, then start date should be record dot x underscore studio underscore, and then I'm going to check the correct name of the field because I don't remember it perfectly. Up. Start date is start underscore date underscore task. Start underscore date underscore task. Just double check to be sure. Start underscore date underscore task. So, okay. Then I'm just going to copy this. For the end date is the same Python expression. Okay, it's the same thing, but obviously it's not start, it's end. Up, just double checking. End date task. End date task. Okay, perfect. So this means that actually the value from the field is going to be changed. Those ones are going to be the same automatically. And then one last thing to do is obviously here at the moment what we see is based on the date for the that is by default with the planning. So what we can change is just come here. Now that we did the automated action, it should not be necessary, but we could change there so that we have there directly the start and end date from actually the task. Yep. Obviously, if you are using the planning for another flow, then that will be a bit annoying for you to do this. So that will really depend on what you do, but that could be a good idea to use the planning and all those customizations to have it working if you don't plan to use planning for another purposes. So there you can see field service button the waiter. So there I can see field service dead. I can see that there for now the hours are not correct, but if let's imagine I switch there. Okay, small error with Studio. Okay, let's check what I did wrong. Up. So I said that the start date should be record. Okay. That the end date should be recording the end date. Okay, I found my issue. I went too fast. I added a small underscore there in front. So I need to remove it there. Obviously, that field does not exist with an underscore in front. Up. And so now that should work. So now it means that where am I? Okay, I'm in planning, schedule, okay, by employee, and then I can see up, and now I can move this. And then you can see it moves for both of us because obviously we are on the same task, field service, dead. And then from there, obviously, you can see now that the hours are exactly the same and the date are exactly the same. So which means that actually, if we go from the field service, and I want to create a new task, test 2, maybe there is order, up, then I can plan my date. So let's imagine from 19 to 25, up, normal flow of the planning. Just come here, here, up, just for the sake of the facility. Up, come on, up. Just for the sake of the facility, I want to use Studio just to remove the view. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't want me to use Studio. Okay, because he thinks I'm still in it. Okay, so now I can get back into my field service. Up, up. Okay, now I can open Studio. This is just fine tuning actually. The start date there, I really don't care as I have it there. So start date, I'm going to remove it. The end date, I remove it also. Allocated hours, same. Allocated time, same. After for you, maybe it's relevant, so maybe you will use it, but for me it's not. So there up, I can come here, employee. I'm going to check mutual admin, and then demo user up, and now I save, and automatically there I see the assigned person is mutual admin. The date I have it here, and if now I go into my planning, I can see that indeed we have another one that is specified here, and I can see this too. Everything is there. If is there. And then from there, we can see the schedule of everybody. But the last thing that then remains to do is actually to come in here and to change the filter that we have in the field service app, for example. For example, there when we check my task, by default, you see you have my task, you have planned for today or future. Obviously, you don't only want to have my task. What you want is obviously to have also those that are specified in here. So in order to do that, you just need to do you just need to come back here, and there we are going to do we are going to add assign to contains, for example, the admin from each admin. Up. I save this. Now I save this as save screen search, use the default, save, and that's not done. Filter, user defined filter. Then I can find back my filter, my task here. And then here I can add a new one, which is not assigned to, it's planning. And I do not stop in planning. I want to select the employee. Then same thing, up, employee contains admin. Now I save. By doing this, I keep the filter in Odoo that is for today and future. And then instead of checking only for my task, I checked for assigned to me and also for if my name is in planning. So that means that even though I'm not the person assigned and I'm just put in the planning with other people and somebody else is assigned, I'm still able to see my task into my field service, my task module here. And then from there, you can see I'm the only one, and there actually I can see it. And normally, if I did it correctly, I remove this from there. In planning, I'm still there. and I should have been able to see it here. But it seems like I did a small mistake, but basically you can do it as such. Okay, I did a small mistake. Basically, is how to do that is not by actually doing this. So I'm going to remove my filter here that I created. Now it works. Is to, if you get back here by default, you remove the my task, you define your filter. So I want to see all of them where we have assigned to admin, but add a condition or, and we have planning contains admin. So there, basically, we don't see the test number 2 because planning is a one-to-many. So we are searching into a one-to-many, which is a table for admin. So he doesn't know where he needs to look at. So that's why we need to go now into filter, user defined filter, get into the one, stupid, forgot to register, to save actually the filter I just did. So I need to remove this and do it again. Obviously, if I don't save it, I don't see it on the other side. Up, admin. But as you can see, you can do that very easily. And so you can reproduce it also for all of your different users. Assign to, planning contents, okay. Save current search, up just by default. Tac. Or you can also just come here and do here a duplicate. You know, if you duplicate here, you can just afterwards change the available for user and the information in here. And then assign to, that's fine, but the planning, I want to check the name of the employee, obviously. Then I do this. And now if I go into my field service, I reach my task directly, and then you see there at the bottom, I have my test number 2, even though the person who is assigned is not me, it is Mark Demo. But as I am in the list here in planning, I can then see it in my task from here directly. So with all that, you have the possibility from my task here to see all your tasks that you are assigned directly through the standard field or through that extra field that is added. And from there, you can directly create everything from the planning in here. You no need to define and to start assigning people there manually and come there for the rest. You do from here and everything will be done for there automatically. And also then that means that with the customization we did from the planning app, we can see everything for everybody and we can see the correct planning for the task, and you can play around as much as you want, and then you can move it. Maybe I don't know why this one not, but you can move everything the way you want, and then everything is done on both sides.